Yes, guys. Welcome back to the Freo Faithful channel. We have just absolutely pumped the Richmond Football Club by 61 points. Make sure you guys hop in, have your say. These are the fan camps. This is where we get your guys' opinions, and make sure you guys hop in using the link in the description. If there is lag, again, I have tried absolutely everything to sort it out. I've got an Ethernet cable plugged into my computer. So yeah, let me know how we're coming in. But thank you guys for joining nevertheless. Down in the Barossa Valley today at Gather Round. I'm happy we played in Barossa. A bit off Broadway. Just go there, play Richmond, get the job done. It was a bit of an arm wrestle in the first half. But yeah, the second half was really where the game was won. Brayshaw and Sarong were cooking today again, 29 and 30 disposals for them both. And it was the Josh Tracy show. 6 goals, taking big marks, competing, as we know. Josh Tracy in Coleman medal form, currently tied in the Coleman medal race with Ben King. How good was Hayden Young's first goal? It was very slick. He didn't have any sort of... Well, he does have the license, but the audacity to have a shot from that deep and for it to go in was unreal. And then he goes in one-on-one in the goal square and gets the second goal for the day. So it was great to see Hayden Young back in the side. You can still tell he's a little bit, I suppose, just not up to the speed of AFL. So it was a good game for him to come back in today. He had, 2 goals, 18 touches. He's more of an impact player than an accumulator. Dudley coming on, looked smooth. He did MOB. Took about 5 bounces in one play up and down the wing, which was great to see. Great to see his confidence continue to develop at the AFL level. Tracy, top 1 human out. He was phenomenal today, Tracy, especially in that first half. He just does it all. I think it was his 6th that he kicked, and he was lining up for a set shot from a tight angle. I was like, what's he doing? Why would I ever question Josh Tracy? Because that shot that he kicked in that 6th particularly just hung at left goalpost and it just drifted through beautifully. He's a player at the top of his game right now. But yeah, great showing overall. Frederick kicking another 3 goals. He's in really good form. Michael Frederick, a bit of a slow start in the first 2 games, but since then he's been really good for us. We have now won 3 games in a row, and Michael Frederick has been a massive part of that. Shea Bolton with 2 goals, 3 today. Almost took another great mark. It was called as a block, but Bolton, his work in the midfield, he's really connected with Sarong and Young and Brayshaw really well. So loved his game today. Got rewarded on the scoreboard with a couple of goals. And yeah, Alex Pearce kicking a goal today was a great sight to see. He sneaks forward. I think Tom Lynch was limping off to the interchange, and Pearce said, I'll go inside 50 and kick a sausage. I'm just going to make sure we're sounding all good, coming through all good. Beautiful. Here we go. Average is the first in line. The man is here. Make sure you guys hop in. We got Jimbo as well. Let's bring Average in. Average, brother.
Hey,
how are we?
hello, how's it going?
I'm good. How good was that win?
Yeah, that was pretty good. As a Freo fan, I should have expected more, but I was figuring that, at the first quarter, I thought we were gonna do something dockery. But yeah, that was pretty good. Josh Tracy, 6 goals. 6 goals.
Yeah,
Never
baby.
seen that in my life. Well, except for Matt Taberner scoring like 7 goals. But yeah, good job for Tracy. Actually, I wanted him to like score more goals, but
Yeah.
Tracy got
6.
like
You'll
sent
take
off.
6. You'll take 6.
Yeah, we
Hey,
will take 6.
what did you think of the big 3 today?
The
Is Hayden Young,
Brayshaw,
Brayshaw, and Sarong.
Well, we know for a fact that Brayshaw is the star of the show. Well, Sarong did pretty good with marking and tackling people, but yeah, all the clearances, yeah, and Hayden Young, 2 goals. I mean that's a good step up right there. Okay, hopefully
Straight
he
up.
will play the next game, which he probably will. Um, My only concern is Patrick Foss. Okay, we know what happened at that last quarter. He's probably gonna get suspended for that.
Was that
Unfortunately,
the push?
that was the he I think he did something to Nick Fluston, which he had blood on it. So Nick,
Right. Yeah, to be
uh
honest, I was
mm,
sort of watching the UFC at the same time. Alexander Volkanovski just fought and retained
yeah,
got his
everyone
title
was doing
back.
that.
So yeah, I was sort of in between. So I did miss that moment. We've got a comment here, average,
Yeah,
from Pickle Green Guy, Josh Draper, about to have
yeah.
a breakout few games. What have you made of him so far this season?
Oh yeah, he is that guy. Okay, um, I saw him did a bit of work in the rucking, which is good because
Mm.
I think someone told me that he did a bit of practicing the ruck, which is pretty good. What else? I mean,
Well,
Draper.
Paddy Voss sort of rucks forward of centre, like without Luke Jackson, Darcy just coming back and
Mm,
into the side. I think Draper down back. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but he does have a basketball background. I think he was a state basketballer for Western Australia. He's very athletic, very
wow.
tall. So he can play that sort of defensive ruck role when needed. So that was good to see. Um, what else would you like to add, average, before I let you go? Any other standouts today? Any other points from our big win at Gather Round?
Well, honestly, I thought Bolton was gonna get sub off, but for some
Mm.
reason, I don't know how Luke Ryan got sub. Okay, maybe Luke Ryan needs to like relax a bit, which is fine. Shea Bolton with 2 goals, hooray! Hayden Young 2 goals, Macon
Hooray.
Frederick 3 goals,
Yes.
Moose 1 goal, and
Yes.
then obviously Bruce, we love
Yes,
Bruce. Yeah.
we do.
Mwah. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have
Cheers to average. We need to get that Bruce chant going at Optus. Luke Ryan had trouble with his shoulder. Well, you think about how consistent he has been for us over the years. I don't know how many games he's played, but it feels like he's been in our best 22 ever since he's sort of come into it. So didn't mind him having a bit of a rest. Hopefully Shay's all good to go for next week. Um, and yeah, hopefully Vossi's good to go. We will need Vossi. He had a great game today, I thought. Let's get Jimbo in. Jimbo, got the guns out. Dockers win. Happy days.
Oh, it is happy days. Before we touch on Freo, how are you going? Because yesterday it was not a great day for you at the Wattle Park, was it? It wasn't quite what you were after.
Yeah, so me and the Div 12 Resi's lads, we're missing a few. No Checkers, no Shrey, no Will, no a couple important outs, and we lost by 180 points. So it was good to watch the Dockers get a win because that was a tough day at the office. But I had a fun kick around anyway.
Yeah, it was a good win for the Dockers today. I was very nervous at the start. I thought this is an absolute traditional Dockers performance if we were to lose this game, and we were going in heavy favourites. But we had a good second half, which was good.
Yeah, no, I thought we were always going to run over the top of them. Like, I'm confident that we're a mature enough side now. Like, our players have enough games into them to know how to run out 4 quarters and bring that tackling pressure, particularly in that second half. Richmond have a lot of talent across the park. Their midfield is pretty strong today as well. I thought with Hopper, McIntosh, and Taranto with Nankervis. Like, that's a very good midfield. So they got rewarded at times. But yeah, I thought our transition was really good today. What did you like from our game in that second half?
I think we were very good defensively in that second half. We stood up really well. We used the handballs a lot better than what we have in previous weeks. I think we're a bit cleaner in that respect, and also
Mm.
I think our players were just they really gelled today. I thought. I mean, some players are playing out of like Pierce went forward, even Draper pushed forward in the last quarter. It was like they were all just really they're having a good time in the end, and I think they yeah they really gelled today, and it allowed us to well yeah just be a lot cleaner with the ball as well and run over the top of the Tigers.
Yeah, that was a very satisfying part about today's game. Like when we played West Coast, we'd won the game at 3/4 time, but we took our foot off, but we sort of kept going all the way to the end. Who were your best on today? I think most people would probably say Josh Tracy with those 6 goals today, but who was your 3, 2, 1?
I think JT probably was best on, but I actually thought Matt Johnson had a really good game today. I think he was he didn't do amazing stuff, but he was really composed with the ball, and a lot of times that's what we need. Sort of we get a bit flustered with the footy, and we turn the ball over in really horrid parts of the ground that just create scores for the other team. So Johnson was really composed, and I think Brayshaw, well, he is just a star, isn't he? And
Yeah.
it's him and Sarong over the last few weeks have really stood out. And even Sarong getting tagged there, he wasn't very happy with. He was still gave it a good crack and got a good 20-watt disposals. So yeah, good game from them.
No, you have to tag Sarong and Brayshaw, but then you got Young as well, and it's like I don't think you can actually hold down Brayshaw and Sarong for too long. Eventually, they're going to break the tag and have the game moving their way because their endurance is so good. But like in those first two games, Sarong copped a tag, didn't get near it, and we lost. And then, West Coast didn't have anyone to tag him. The Doggies didn't really have an answer for Sarong. And then, he was a bit angry in the first half, but he's just started dominating around stoppages and got his just desserts. You mentioned Matt Johnson there. He had 17 touches today, 9 contested possessions, 10 uncontested, good balance of inside and out. You just feel like with Matt Johnson, he's now reaching that stage where he's got enough games into him. What has he played? I think he's played. Well, it felt like he played a full season last year. If someone could get that in the comments, how many games has Matt Johnson played? But he's a 6'3", big-bodied mid, and just looking way more composed on the ball at the moment. I remember when he came into the side, I think he got drafted in David Mundy's last year, and there were some comparisons thrown about there. But good call with Jono there. I think he had a really good game last week as well, so it's good that he got his raps. What did you make of the inclusions today? Hayden Young, Sam Switkowski, and Sean Darcy.
Well, I think I really noticed Witkowski's pressure in the forward half. I mean, he brings every week. He lays big tackles. Darcy, I was scared he wasn't going to hold up. I'm pretty glad he got through the full game, but he didn't have a great impact today. It was under the pump from Nankervis. I mean, Nankervis is probably one of the better rucks in the comp. So, he had a tough task ahead of him coming back probably a week earlier than what he wanted to. And Hayden Young, well, he pushed forward and he was flying every ball. I mean, he didn't get a lot of marks in the forward 50, but he was just flew at everything. And it's really good to see him back in full confidence. And as soon as he can get back into the swing of things and roll to the midfield a bit more, they're going to be a really damaging side.
Yeah, 100%. I love having Young and Bolton in that sort of mid-forward rotation because they're both so dangerous with the ball in hand. I thought Darcy competed pretty well today. Like, he looks like he's a little bit leaner, a little bit more fit, sort of covered the ground nicely, and he got through a full game with no injuries, which is a positive after the amount of footy that he's missed. I think thought he covered the ground well and just competed well, which is all we could sort of ask for from him today. Goes up against Max Score next week, which is a big task for Big Sean. And then, Switter brought that pressure again today. Did he kick a goal, Switter? I don't think he got one.
I think he might have missed his shot. Oh, no, he sent it up. He squared it up to Bolton, which was marked to Trainer, I think. But
Yeah, didn't have much of the footy today, but brought that pressure for sure. Anything else you want to add, Jimbo? Thanks for hopping on again. You've been a regular of the show the last couple of weeks. Anything you'd like to add before we let you go?
I'd just like to say that Freo, please hold your nerve against 0-5 Demons. Don't think it's going to be an easy game. Go in there with the same mindset that you've got a big challenge up ahead of you and get the 4 points. And Murphy Reid, you're just a gun, mate.
Yeah, bloody oath. Just got to keep stacking these wins, and Murphy Reid has been phenomenal for us. Appreciate you joining again, Jimbo. You're a good lad, and we'll see you next week, I'm sure.
Thank you. See ya.
Good man, Jimbo. What a boy. Chappie, yes. Very good today. I think he's underrated for us. Absolutely he is. If you're watching the podcast, me and Noah have been talking about it for a long time. Get that camera down. Wait. There we go. There's my melon. He's been he was a top-rated pick, first-round pick when we got him. And he has the skill. He has the footy IQ, those corridor kicks, the intercepting. He got up the ground a little bit more today, had some kicks inside 50. Chappie, what a game today. Good shout, MOB. God, my skull is doing me in here. Cox gave up 2 goals early in the game. in brackets, I am a Cox hater. Cox is one that's always going to cop flack from Freo fans, I feel. He's one of those... Look, playing at the AFL level is very hard. As I've now noticed by playing at the lowest standard of football, like, to win every single one-on-one contest is tough. These are elite athletes. I think Cox did some good things today, some frustrating things, but yeah, I think let him cook. He's still a pretty young player. Johnson brought good class that we needed, especially when Wags went out. Yeah, good bit of ball use, smart ball use. He's growing, young Jono. He is growing. Let's see how many games he's played. Matt Johnson, career games. He has played 42, I think, almost 50 games for Big Matty Johnson. There's currently no queue for the fan cams. If you guys want to hop in and have a chat with me, feel free to do so. I just love the talent that we have in the forward half of our ground now. When you're looking around the stoppage and it's Hayden Young, Sam Switkowski, Bolton, Murphy Reed, Isaiah Dudley, Frederick, and then just balls in there with Sarong, Brayshaw, Jager O'Meara gets forgotten about because those two were so good, and he just goes in and he's classy. And then you got Vossi competing in the ruck when Darcy's not in there. We've seen how good Luke Jackson has been so far this year. Just so good to watch. So much faith that we have all the players that we sort of need now. And don't forget Mr. Fix-It, Bailey Banfield, who had some good moments today as well. There was a point here. Did you see Cozzy Pickett news today? So yeah, Cozzy Pickett has changed management from a SA-based manager to a WA-based manager who works with Quinton Narkle. So it seems that the pieces are being put into play to bring Cozzy Pickett to play for the Dockers. Not getting my hopes up yet, but if we get Cozzy Pickett and Shea Bolton in this forward line, good luck stopping that. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Basketball background, question mark. Yes, Zane. Josh Draper was a state basketballer for WA. Fun fact. The dockside view is here. Bang. Jordy, you're in, brother.
Yep.
Have I got you?
Yep. Got us trying to mute the YouTube. But,
You're all right. How'd we go today? What'd you like from the Dockers today?
Yeah, no, it was a good performance. As I said, it was disappointing we couldn't put in a four-quarter effort. But, we 60 points, fixed up our percentage. I thought our mids fight. I thought Young particularly was of the three inclusions, I think was the one that probably slotted back in the easiest. And obviously Tracy. Tracy is now tied for the Coleman, I think. So
yeah.
He's going to kick probably 60 plus this season. And yeah, backline, of course, held up well. And yeah, first quarter, there was some worries. And I think Jay will be disappointed with that because he did say, I think, in the pre-game on Fox that we haven't had a four-quarter effort yet. And we probably didn't have that today. But yeah, as I said, you got to take what you can get in this comp. So yeah, we'll take every bit of today.
I don't feel like it was for a lack of effort. I feel like against the Dogs last week, we were dialed in for four quarters, but we haven't had the games in our term for four quarters. And I don't know. I think that's just footy. There's obviously two teams trying to win. You're going to have ebbs and flows with momentum, and the good teams are just the ones that can go the distance. I think we could have worked on our centre clearance game a little bit better in that first half, but once Sarong and Brayshaw got their hands on it, they really started dominating. Who else impressed you today? We were talking about JT, 17 goals now, tied for the Coleman. Did anyone else really stand out to you today?
Two for me. I thought Carl Warner down back, I thought was pretty handy today.
He was.
Off half back. He almost played as an intercept defender for a bit there as well. I think he had a few good moments. And the other one as well was even though he had a few fumbles maybe, obviously Bolton is starting to be the Bolton that we had hoped we would get when we paid for him. So those are the two for me. I think we obviously spoke just before about Johnson. He's getting better every game, it seems. And of course, Brayshaw continued to answer wrong as well. Obviously, she continued to rack up the touches as they usually do. But yeah, Warner was the one for me that I think probably surprised a few today.
Yeah, Zane on the in the chat saying Warner was so good today. I feel like when he came in at the start of last year, before I believe it was a concussion that he got, he had like a really solid game against Brisbane round 1 last year, and then
Yeah.
sort of couldn't get back into the team last year. But aside from some like annoying sort of errors, like he's been pretty solid these last couple of weeks. Like obviously still a young player, but like yeah, he's shown enough to be in that sort of best 25 mix. With the injuries that we have, he's been given the opportunity. So yeah, he was very good today. And Shea Bolton again just goes from strength to strength. He was pulling at his calf at some stage of the game, so I'm glad that he made it through unscathed. Do you know what it was that happened to Cox? Because he limped off pretty late.
Brendan Cox. No, I didn't see what happened there. It looked like you said the Bolton one. The Bolton one hopefully looked like cramp. I didn't actually catch what happened to Cox at the end. There might look that, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I missed a fair bit of it watching the UFC, but yeah, Dockers win, Volt gets the win, Australia wins. How much have you seen Michael Frederick mature in this last sort of month of footy? He's kicked another 3 today to go with, was it 3 or 4 last week? He's really maturing at the AFL level now.
Well, he's almost our, in terms of goal scoring, and it has been for the past couple of seasons now, he's essentially our second threat now next to Tracy. I think he'd probably be, I think he was our second highest goal scorer last season, might be probably again this season. Yeah, it doesn't get a lot of the ball, but not everyone gets a lot of the ball. So yeah, he's and he's got 2 weapons to go with. Obviously, he's a marking forward as well. He's pretty accurate kick, and he also can score from open play as well. So yeah, another 3 today, and you can always rely on Freddie for 2 every week, it seems. So yeah,
100%. Yeah, strong mark, brings the pressure. There was a moment where Luke Traynor tried to sort of step around him, and he just like held his feet, and he's like, "Nah, you're gonna have to work harder to get around me there." But yeah, kicked 3 first half goals last week against the Bulldogs. He was quite a frustrating player early days as he matured, but we're starting to see him be more consistent now. And he's just got so many bows in his game that he can go to. I'm trying to see how many goals he kicked against West Coast as well. Oh, he kicked 1 against West Coast.
1 against West Coast.
Yeah. 3 against the Dogs. So yeah, and I think he kicked a couple against Sydney as well.
Yeah, probably popped up with 2 there as well, I'd say.
Oh no, he kicked no goals too, but still.
Oh, no goals too. I'm thinking Geelong. Yeah.
Our forward line's pretty much set now, don't you think? Like with all the mix of talls and smalls.
I think it is. Yeah. The obviously, particularly once Jackson comes back in as well, it's going to be it's going to be a tight squeeze as well. It's the sort of thing, Dudley being the sub today. He's the sort of player that might be the one that ends up getting squeezed out in the end, which we don't want to see anyone squeezed out. But if we've got a strong as forward line as we got, then it is going to have to happen eventually. And obviously the main issue, obviously today with late, with the Voss hit. I think you could pretty much lock in at least 2 weeks suspension for that. I think that was not a great hit. And obviously with Jackson out, it means probably Liam Reedy comes back in next week. As obviously we got Sturt, I don't think he's ready. So, and from an injury perspective, so that's the only real concern for our forward line as of now. But as I said, when Jackson comes back in, we've got our three tools, and you've got Voss as well. And then you got Sturt in the waiting there, and Bolton going forward now as well. Dudley's there, Switter's there. It is pretty well set. But yeah, for next week, no Jackson and no Voss is, or I think Jackson, they said it'll be at least 2 weeks. So there'll be no Jackson next week. So that's our only real issue, I think, looking out of today. But yeah.
I did miss that. So that's frustrating because Voss has been in such great form and has been pretty much like a bona fide best 22 player for us so far this year. I don't want to see Liam Reedy come back in, to be honest. I think Darcy did well enough today. Maybe Tracy gives a chop out in the forward half, Rux Draper does in the back half. I don't know if it's as easy as that when you're coming up against someone as good as Max Gawn, but yeah, rather keep, because I just feel like at the moment, at this point in his career, Liam Reedy is just such a one-dimensional player. He can only sort of play ruck. He isn't very useful around the ground at all. So yeah, I'm not really too keen on him coming in, but if we have to do that, we have to do it. Coming up against the D's next week, who are 0-5, their clubs are all over the place at the moment. But they've got a lot to play for, nothing to lose at the same time. So they will be a dangerous competition. Anything else that you wanted to say, Jordy, before we let you go? Thanks for hopping on once again.
Yeah, no worries. As I said before, no knock on Voss. I think we always needed a player like Voss that has a bit of mongrel. But the strike that he would have been if he was playing in the NRL, it would have been a send off. So there'll be at least 2, I think. But yeah, next week, all we got to do next week is just treat this game like we treated. Treat that game like we treated this game, and Melbourne will probably come out firing again, but as did Richmond today, and we handled that pretty easily. So. We got to just keep doing what we're doing and head into what is probably a massive stretch after that with Adelaide, St Kilda and Collingwood on the trot. So, just keep on keeping on, and hopefully, if the Saints lose in this game, we'll be in the top 8. So that'll be a nice way to cap it off, I think.
Yeah, well said. Hopefully we're in the top 8 by the end of Gather Round. Thanks for joining us, Jordy. We'll see you next week. Keep it locked to the channel, and we appreciate you joining us. Beauty. There goes Jordy. If Voss was a top 50 player, he wouldn't get any time. I missed the hit, so I can't really speak on that. Let's bring in Tanu. He's in the wings here. Tanu, what's going on, brother? You good?
Yeah, I'm great. That was a classic win, one that we needed. Like, if we lost that one, we were buggered, really. So it's
you got to be able to beat the bottom sides.
It was exactly what I expected. We needed the percentage as well. So I was looking at the score, just going, we need at least 100% on them, and I was pretty happy with the outcome in the end.
100%. We've spoken about a lot of the players today, but who really impressed you? Who were you watching thinking, God, he had a good game today?
Actually, I'm going to shout out to Chappie. I feel like his game's been building up, and he's been pretty damn clean on that game. And that was I reckon that was probably his best game of it so far. I like Voss as well, even though he's out now. And I noticed that now everyone's got to give a side high five. He's got none in the front of the face.
You'll get weeks if he keeps doing that. He's one of those kids that doesn't know how powerful he is.
Yeah. I think, what was it? JL gave him a spell, when he got Josh Tracy in the eye. Apparently he was going to get in lots of trouble if he didn't go back on. That's behind the scene. Yeah. But I think, I'm going to give it to Chappie, that one, as kind of a different one. I really liked his game together. 100%. As well as Young, actually. I feel like Young was solid. And I wasn't expecting lots from Young because he's been out for a while. So, I wasn't expecting him to be an absolute star like he usually is. Might take him a couple games to get in. And I was also really happy that they brought Young and Darcy back in because it was a game that was maybe going to be a bit easier. So having those guys, having Richmond as kind of to get that game form kind of back.
Yeah, a little tune-up fight type thing. Young, it was so nice having him back today, just those inside 50 kicks. You can tell that we're trying to sort of deploy him more in that forward 50 area. He played a lot of forward today, took some good marks. Obviously, he's going to play midfield time, but I think him and Bolton are sort of going to interchangeably roll through that forward line. Like you were talking about Heath Chapman there, I don't know if you've been listening to the potty too much this year, but me and Noah are big on Chappie. He had the 3rd most disposals on the ground today with 26 touches. In terms of ball use, let's have a look. 84% efficiency. And that was 18 kicks. So, he's such an important player for us. We need him to keep racking up the ball, intercepting the ball high up the ground. He's a hidden gem at Freo land. And like you said, Young and Darcy back into the side. It was a sort of a good tune-up fight for him to ease back into the AFL level. What did you make of our forwards today?
Yeah, I thought the forwards were pretty good. It was all on Josh Tracy, pretty much the whole thing. I liked, Freddie did pretty good as well. Amos was a little bit lost. He's kind of like that full back at the moment, so he's not quite. he's not being the man because he just has to sit back all the time and like give room for Tracy, I guess. But
Yep.
And he had that miss. He just seems to always have shockers at the moment. Like you see him go and you're not sure. I don't know. Whenever he has a set shot, I feel like I just can't guarantee it. Whereas Tracy can nearly always guarantee it.
Yeah. Well, Amos early days was like Jai Nev, like never miss, and now he's just lost his confidence. Jai's a weird one because he has moments in games where he competes. Like you can't question his effort and cracking in, but yeah, just not enough output. Only had 2 disposals today.
Yeah.
Against a struggling side.
Yeah, Murphy Reed was a little bit quiet, but that's all right. He's only 18 and stuff, and he just ruined my fantasy score. But apart from that, it's all fine.
Yeah. Amos is an interesting one, but in terms of like Dudley came on and had 6 touches in a quarter. Amos played the full game and only had 2. But I think Brayshaw said it in the post game. Like when you've got a forward in the same form as Josh Tracy is right now, you just put the ball in his area, pop it up for him, and let him work 1-on-1. Because if you put it on his head, he's strong enough to get his hands up to it. If you put it over the back of him, he'll get to the drop zone first, and he's leading hard at the ball as well. So, yeah. Coleman medal form. What's that?
Do we need more options though? Because if it's just going to like Tracy, like towards the end there, you got like, 3 people on him, and it's always coming down to the ground. Do we need to? And it's kind of long in against Richmond. Maybe it's all right, but against another one, do you need to start looking at other angles and other people? Just a little bit.
I think that high half forward brigade with Murphy Reed, Frederick, Bolton, they can sort of get up the ground and bring it in by hand. But I think Tracy's always going to be that target when you go deep forward. Obviously, Jackson was another one there, but he's obviously out now. Voss is looking like he's going to be suspended. And Jai Amos just hasn't really been there. But I think once Sturt comes back in, we get Jackson back in as well, there will be more targets aerially. But I think, there's more ways to score than that. I feel like most of our goals today came from set shots. I think when we had kicked 11, it was like 9 goals from set shots or something like that. But, there's not a whole lot really to read into with this one. It was against Richmond. They're a young side. And like you said, just to get a big win, 61 points in the end, we're pretty happy with that. Was there anything else you wanted to say, Tanu, before we let you go?
I think I'm still. I know, like you guys are saying good stuff for Warner, but I still think he looks a little bit nervous and a little bit shaky there. Like against Richmond, it's probably doing all right. Oh, one other thing I did want to add is the pressure game was elite.
Yeah,
and that's like something I felt that we missed with the Eagles and with Sydney and such. Like the pressure just wasn't quite there. And if we can bring the pressure game we had this time in for the rest of it, we should be in a better stance. I feel like that's what we had last year, and it's kind of slowly building back.
Yeah. No, Warner, I get what you mean. He is a little bit nervous on the ball, but I feel like that just comes from like the mistakes that he's made in the past. So like he's a bit more hesitant. But I'll get more games into him, and I think he'll be a solid player for us. Just a bit of a depth player. Obviously, he's never going to be a sort of A-grade or all-Australian, but pretty solid. And like you were talking about there, the pressure, that is the pillar of our game. It's the pillar of what we do. So we have to keep bringing that tackling pressure because, that's what keeps us in games. You need that for 4 quarters to be able to contend with any side. We had Brayshaw with 10 tackles, Johnson with 7, Switter with 5, Vossi with 5, Young 5. So, all the boys getting after it. We've got to bring that pressure again, put Melbourne under the cosh, and hopefully they crumble next week. What do you make of this comment here? I know it's a bit of a long shot, but do you move Jai into the ruck with Voss out? So we obviously need that. I don't think that would work, but the point he's trying to make is that we need him up near the ball more. In his breakout season, he was never like the deepest lying forward. He played more up the ground. If you can think back to that Melbourne game a few years ago, I think he got the rising star nom. He was like working up to the sort of center circle and like had a bit more of the footy, but now he just always seems to be the deepest lying forward, and he cops a fair bit of criticism from the Freo Faithful.
Yeah, I don't know. He just maybe has to do some of his best stuff this year has been when he does make his way up the ground and is an option, like on the wings pretty much. That's been where he's kind of, if he's had a quiet game, he's made himself more of a presence. I don't really know, to tell you the truth, what to do with him. I think he's just going to have to. I think he's just young. You just keeping him in there, and just over time he'll be a champ.
Yeah,
you've seen the ceiling. So if you've seen the ceiling, he'll make the ceiling again, and that's really what matters.
Yeah,
and you just truck on with Jai down the front, pretty much.
Yeah, no, I agree, to be honest. Like, I think he offers a contest every time the ball goes near him. Probably needs to win more of them rather than just halving them. I thought he had a really good game against the Bulldogs in terms of his contest and his competing. Kicked 4 the week before against West Coast. So, yeah, I do think he's sort of what he does is important for what Tracy gets on the end of as well. But, yeah, we do need to start seeing more output from him. Although, as a front six unit, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's kicking the goals, but at the same time, you get 2 touches in a game. There's obviously something going wrong there. You should be seeing more of the footy than twice. So, what can you do with young Jai Amos? Am I saying the name right? Is it Tanu?
Yeah, close
enough. Right? How do you actually say it? Tanu.
Tanu is the correct way, yeah.
Good man. Are you in Perth? Are you a Freo man, born and bred?
I'm Freo, so I'm surrounded by the purple.
Yeah, good man. Love that. Love that. We appreciate you joining, mate. Keep joining the fan cams every week, having your say. We appreciate you having the time to chat with us today.
All right, no worries.
Good man. Thank you. Bang, there goes Tanu. The MRO might look into the Voss and Vlossen incident, but the outcome will be assessed later in the week. We'll have to watch. Hopefully we got out of that game unscathed in terms of injuries. But overall, it was a great performance. What time are we on? 4:20 is the time. I'm heading off to live stream the Port Adelaide versus Hawthorn game, which will be on the True Footy channel. Me and Dylan Alexander will be doing that. So Gather Round isn't done yet. We've got the GWS St Kilda game on at the moment. Footy. I sort of wish I was at Gather Round, to be honest, but didn't work out. But I'll definitely try to go next year. If anyone else wants to join, I'll have time for one more. But if not, we will wrap this up. Let's go through the stats one more time. Tracy, Frederick, and Bolton and Young with multiple goals today. 6 for Tracy, kicking 37 points total, which is great. Frederick with 3, Bolton 2 goals, 3 to go with 19 disposals, 6 marks. How many tackles did Bolton get? Just the 1 today. Young with 2 goals and 18 disposals. Just that impact, that damage. Frederick says we're in the 8. That must mean that GWS are beating up on the Saints, which they are. They're up by 21 points. Brayshaw probably best on again today. 31 disposals, 10 tackles. Just an absolute running machine. Johnson impressive with 7 tackles as well. Good to have Switter back out there as well as big Sean Darcy. Thought he looked a little bit quicker on his feet today, Darcy. Hopefully he can carry that throughout the season. Alex Pearce popped up for a goal. Love that from the skipper. He was solid today. Didn't really have too much to do, but when it went near him, he was a strong player, as he always is for us. Draper showing good things, continues to show good things. Positives all around, really. Not a whole lot to draw from that game, as Richmond are a side in transition. We head over to the MCG next week. I'll be at that game here in Melbourne, and hopefully we can chalk up another 4 points and just keep stacking these wins. 4 points are so crucial. It's important that you don't let your form go awry during these games. You can really work on your game heading into that Crows clash, which will be a big, big test. I think that's Anzac Day at home. Friday night game after the Pies Bombers game. But I'll wrap it up there, guys. Thank you for joining the live stream tonight. Hopefully I was coming through not too laggy. We have had some issues with the lag, but hopefully it was all good today. We appreciate you watching. Keep it locked to the channel. We'll be having the podcast coming out soon. Noah is currently at Gather Round, so whenever he gets back, we will film the potty. The Oppo view will be out, hopefully with the guys from the debrief. We'll keep it rolling. Another week of footy rolls on. Let's do it. The Dockers chalk up another 4 points. we currently sit. I've got the live ladder up here. Let's get it up real quick just to see where we are as we close out the live ladder. Freo are 8th. Happy days. Good stuff. And to think now we're 3 wins and 2, like all the talk about the Crows this year, how good they're going to be. We're now level with them. The Cats, who absolutely pumped us round 1, we're level with them. We've got some important clashes coming up against the Crows. That's an 8-pointer. Collingwood coming up, and St Kilda, who are all around us on the ladder as it stands. So big games coming up. Got to keep chalking up the 4 points, but how good is it? Back in the winners list, 3 in a row for the Dockers. Appreciate you guys watching the Freo Faithful. We absolutely love doing this stuff and meeting you guys. So thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you in the next one.